the new driver for the Lucas Oil Top Fuel Dragster, Richie Crampton. Richie, good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, good to have you on. Big announcement come here a week ago that you're going to be driving the new or the Geico Lucas Oil Top Fuel Dragster, as Morgan is going to step out to attend the family business, and you you've been a part of the whole organization from its infancy. There, you're now going to be the one piloting the hot rod.
Yeah, it's kind of took everyone by surprise when Morgan decided to take a hiatus, I guess you'd call it that. I'm pretty excited to get a shot to drive the thing for Geico and Lucas. I'm still a little bit blown away that they've got faith in me, and I'm going to be so green and such a rookie. But with the racing background that I have, there was a lot of other drivers that had, a lot of experience that could have easily got this job. But it says a lot about the Lucas family and Geico and Toyota for sticking behind me and kind of giving me the shot.
You talking about your background, you raced for a long time, started out, there in Australia, you being from Australia. Tell us a little bit about the history of you as a driver and where you got your start and some of the things you've done.
Yeah, well, basically, I started racing go-karts around 9 years old. I always loved drag racing, but at that time there was no junior drag racing league in Australia. So I started out in go-karts, learned how to turn some corners, and then that progressed to I got out of go-kart racing at 15, and we built my first drag racing car and went and competed with that. That was kind of like me and my dad just doing what we could when we could, and that car eventually ran fairly good. It was a mid-7-second supercharged car, and we raced that across Australia as much as we could. And then the racetrack in my hometown closed down, so I basically took a job working as a crew member on a Top Fuel team for the Cowan family in Sydney, just to keep around racing, and that team eventually came to the United States, and I came over here as a crew member, and while I was here, I met some people and got to get my NHRA top alcohol license and drove a top alcohol funny car and just tried to get into as many types of racing cars as I could over the last, basically 10 years. And then back in June, July, Anthony DeCero let me freshen up my top alcohol license and make quite a few runs in that car, which was great, and that went well for me. So then from that point on, Morgan allowed me to get into the Top Fuel cars and get my license in those cars.
How big a difference is it between the top alcohol car and the fuel car? Is it a fuel car or is it a blown alcohol car?
The car I drove most recently was an A fuel car, an injected nitro car. The driving procedures are very similar between the two cars, from A fuel to Top Fuel. The A fuel car, it leaves the starting line very hard and you can kind of catch up with it fairly easily by about half track and drive on down there. But getting in a Top Fuel car that it leaves the starting line so hard and covers so much ground so quickly that you need to really pay attention to, where you are on the track and keep the thing in the groove, because one little slip and, you're just not where you need to be, and that's when things can go bad. So it's about all you can do to keep focused and steer the thing straight, because they're just trying to push you through the seat, basically. It's amazing, the feeling of how much power these Top Fuel cars have.
So when you how many passes did you get to make in the fuel car, and did you cross your license up to Top Fuel?
Yeah, I got to make a total of 10 runs between Bernstein's car and Morgan's car at the Indy test session. And, yes, I did get my Top Fuel license. I licensed with a 385 and a 386.
Sweet.
With a top speed of 314, yeah. That went really well, so I was really excited to check that off my list. And at that point in time, I was like, well, I've done it. I got to drive a Top Fuel car, and at that point in time, I thought I may end up being, a replacement for Brandon if he had a problem with his back again later in this season. But I didn't have any idea at that point in time that Morgan was going to announce what he announced just last week.
I'll tell you what, if Brandon's back does get hurt and Morgan's looking for an old fat guy that wants to drive a fuel car, I'm here.
Well, they would want somebody that could at least go longer than 2 or 3 rounds.
3 rounds put you in the. put you in the final round in Top Fuel, man. That was 32 cars.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So
I can't catch a break with these guys, Richie.
What are these guys?
Folks, we're talking with the Top Fuel driver for Lucas Oil. He's going to be driving the dragster next year. Richie Crampton. Richie, when did you get the phone call? Was it a meeting in the office? How did you find out about you being the new man behind the wheel?
Well, basically, I found out the day before the announcement that Morgan had put me on the short list of possible candidates. So I had about a day to dwell on it, and of course I didn't get any sleep that night, kind of hoping and wondering if I could get my shot. And the day came around where they had made up their mind, and Morgan called me, and of course, true, like a friend does, he messed with me quite a lot. Well, they're not sure about you, and kind of hung me out there for a little while and had my heart racing. But basically, yeah, it was a phone call from Morgan saying, "Hey, you got the deal." So that was really great because he was pretty happy that I Geico and Lucas Oil and all that were thinking the same things that he was, and he was really happy for me that they were agreeing that I could do this.
We've known Forrest Lucas and the Lucas family to kind of, if you will, I guess, be there for the underdog. We've seen what he did for Hector Arana and how he helped him with his career. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of talent out there that could have been behind this wheel. I think it's pretty cool that he kept it in house and picked you to and give you that opportunity. And that's just kind of been the way it has been for Forrest Lucas and the whole Lucas family. They're kind of there for the underdog, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. They love to promote from within, and if you do the right thing by them, they'll treat you right forever. So I'm eternally grateful for that. But a lot of people have made mention that I'm Australia's Ricky Bobby, being promoted from crew member to driver. And
Who wants to go fast? Who wants to go fast?
in our sport, it's not unheard of. Though you look at someone like Larry Dixon, he was a crew guy before he got his shot at it, and the great Eric Medlin, he was a good crew member before he got to do it also. So it's not uncharted territory to promote a crew member, but I've copped my fair share of jokes about, couldn't they find anyone better kind of deal, but I'm over the moon.
I got to tell you, it's the accent. Seriously, it's the accent. Here we have somebody, as soon as they hear the Australian accent on TV, they will relate that accent to Geico because of the gecko, and it's true.
Yeah, I could.
It's great marketing, I'm telling you.
Couldn't count how many times I've already had that question asked. Do you do the voice for the gecko? Is that how you got this deal?
Very cool. Well, hey, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, and we wish you luck here coming up in 2014. Of course, we'll be following you, and we'll have you on many a times next year.
I'd like to check up with you right after you guys get done and testing down there in Palm Beach.
That'd be great. Well, thanks for having me on the show. This has been awesome.
All right, and Richie, shake and bake, huh?
Yeah. If you're not first, you're last.
That's right. All right. Hey, good to have you on. Take care of yourself. There he is, Richie Crampton, the new driver for Geico Lucas Oil Top Fuel Dragster.